Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can resolve an issue whenever you're trying to make a backup of your data on the MudPie Creations Church BookKeeper application. And rather than getting a backup created, instead you see an error message. So when you choose Bookkeeper, um, the Bookkeeper menu and choose Create Backup, if you see a message that pops up that looks something like this, that says Error Backing Up Database Backup Failed, and then it says something about a hardware sector size and the block size is incompatible. Then there's a simple solution for this. This usually occurs whenever you've created a backup or restored from a backup on an operating system that is older than the current operating system. So if you've moved your data from an older computer to a newer one with a newer version of Windows, then you can see this message. So there's a config file setting that allows you to correct this. So I'm going to keep this picture of this error message up, and I'm going to close the Church BookKeeper application. And you should choose no on this message because the backup at this point won't work, so just say no. So next, right click on the Church BookKeeper icon on your desktop and choose Open File Location. And this will open a Windows File Explorer window. And you're looking for a file there called bookkeeper.exe.config. So file extensions are, some of them are hidden here on my computer. So it just make sure that the type of the file says config file. So here it is, bookkeeper.exe, and the type is config file. So I've already associated config files with the Notepad app, but you can open this by right-clicking and saying Open with from the menu. This will let you select the Notepad app. If Notepad isn't listed here, you can say More Apps and then choose Notepad from the list of apps. So I'm going to say OK, and that brings up the configuration file for the Bookkeeper app. So we want to make sure that we don't change anything but the block size setting. So let's take a look at the original error message. So it says that it's expecting a sector size of 4096, but the value that we have in our config file here is 512. So we're just going to change this value. We're going to delete 512 and we're going to type in 4096. Now, if you have a really old version of Church BookKeeper, then you may not even have this key in your app settings section of the config file. And if that's the case, then you can just type this in. You'll have to make sure that you enter it exactly as you see here. And the uppercase and lowercase is important. So everything's in lowercase except the key name, which is Blocksize with a capital B. So once you've set the value to 4096, then you can close the file, and when it prompts you if you want to save changes, choose Save. So now we can close out of this window, and then when you launch the Bookkeeper app, you can choose Create Backup, and this time it will work successfully.